Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Dogs in the Draft. My name is Connor Riley. I'm joined by Mike Griffith, and today we are talking about Georgia running back prospect Trevor Etienne. Now, Etienne played on both sides of the world's largest outdoor cocktail party rivalry, playing his first 2 years at Florida before coming over to Georgia and making an impact for the Bulldogs this past season. Mike, what is an NFL team getting in Trevor Etienne?
I think Trevor's dynamic. I like his versatility out of the backfield. He proved to be a very, very good pass catcher. I actually thought he was a little underutilized in that role at Georgia in this past season. Georgia had, of course, a couple of other targets that they went to, but Etienne, a guy with quickness, a guy who has great vision. I like his burst. He's a very skilled runner. This is a guy who's very good at measuring the hole and knowing how and when to accelerate. Doesn't take a lot of hard hits. Pretty good ball security. I know he had a late fumble on an unblocked guy against Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, but for the most part, very good ball security for Etienne, very good hands. Not the biggest back is probably the biggest drawback, as he doesn't have a great amount of size. But being a little smaller and being shifty, he's very good at finding the cutback lane or being able to burst and outrun the pursuit. So I think that this is a guy who his older brother being in the NFL, I think that helps him out. People have seen what Travis Etienne can do. He's a little bit different kind of runner. I do think that name, that football identity, that football character. This is a guy that is going to ball for you. He really helped Georgia out against Kentucky. Bad shoulder and all, carried the team to a win late in the game with some key runs, and of course instrumental against Texas. 5 touchdowns in 2 games against Texas. Truly the hero of that, and probably one of the biggest pickups that Kirby Smart's ever made out of the transfer portal.
Yeah, sometimes with transfers, you wonder how they're going to do in terms of coming in from another program. And I don't know that from a mental standpoint, anyone has done a better job than what Trevor Etienne did in his time at Georgia. Was instantly praised as one of the better leaders on this Georgia team for this past season. While he statistically didn't have the season I think he envisioned, in large part because of a rib injury that slowed him down in the second part of the season, he was often at his best in Georgia's 2 big wins over Texas. I think this is a guy who is maybe a good bit better than what he was able to showcase at Georgia this past season, in part because of some of the issues they had on the offensive line. But he's a guy that played winning football from the second he stepped on the field at Georgia. Also did the same at Florida, and while that didn't necessarily translate to wins, I think this is a guy who has an incredibly high floor as a running back, and in the right offense could unlock an even greater skill set at the next level. I think he's a guy that, even in a loaded running back class, I think that this is a guy that could go in the 3rd round, more likely than not the 4th. But this is a guy who I think has a skill set to do a number of different things at the next level. And because of his pedigree and because of the fact that he is Travis Etienne's brother, he's going to know what to expect from an NFL lifestyle. And I think that's going to make his transition to the league a little bit easier. So there's our breakdown on Georgia running back Trevor Etienne. For Mike Griffith, my name is Connor Riley. This has been another episode of Dogs in the Draft, presented by Kroger.